And that goes to my next question. I think that's a great pivot. How important is coaching to someone's personal development?
Mm. Well, you're talking to a developmental coach, so I feel like it is absolutely essential. What I keep reminding people of is that basically past the age of 26, 27, depending on who you talk to,
Mm-hmm.
our development as humans is no longer biologically determined. And it really comes down to your own volition.
Mm.
And you mentioned earlier, we have to reprogram ourselves. That's a choice. You know, there are so many people out there who are still stuck in a story that they may have been, they cultivated for their own protection as little ones, maybe in the first 2 years of life, even to handle whatever energies were around them.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, oh, when somebody gets angry, this is what I need to do so that I can protect myself. Okay. Or this is how I can, you know, create space and boundaries for myself if I'm just quiet, if I'm just in my room, you know, like whatever it happens to be for that person, and how you respond to conflict or stress or, excuse me, what have you. So diving into that reprogramming and really becoming aware of what started that, you know, what are you carrying from your own experiences, and then what are you carrying that was passed down to you, either unconsciously or even multi-generationally. You know, that's certainly something that I've discovered for myself, is there are pieces of me, you know, my core wound actually I inherited in some ways because of what my father inherited. And it's just like, oh, like this goes back multi generations. And so the healing that I'm doing is actually healing previous generations. And that is, I feel like that's a gift that I can give to my ancestors
Mm-hmm.
and to my father. And it's also saying, oh, so this is my edge in this moment, right? Going back to, I just saw my coach 2 days ago. So, you know, and just like, oh, and having her remind me of different elements, like, oh, are you noticing how you're doing that to yourself? How you're making yourself small by using that language? Oh, thank you for that reflection. I didn't even make that connection.
Wow. Yeah, it's real. I think
Mm-hmm.
that, everyone should go through coaching to help them with their development, because it really gets you to understand your weaknesses, your strengths, and then how to, improve and
Mm-hmm.
grow from there. So another question I have for you is, your clients, what would you say is typically the soft skill that they struggle with the most?
The soft skill. So this might be an interesting, a slightly unusual response,
Okay.
but I'm going to say trust, and specifically self-trust.
Okay.
You know, from, to say it differently, in the somatic lineage or training that I belong to, we talk a lot about dignity, our vertical line, and the only way that we can feel somebody else's dignity if we can connect and feel our own dignity.
Okay.
So we need to feel our own dignity first, not to say that it necessarily needs to be on fire big, because I'm not talking about being larger than life. I'm just saying, like, just honoring your own dignity, what you bring to the room, to the interaction, to the relationship, to the table, honoring that allows you to more easily feel that shared humanity and that dignity that's sitting around you, across from you.
Okay. I think, yeah. So my clients are similar. It's definitely the self thing, but for me, it's self-confidence is
Mm,
what it seems the people that come to me tend to struggle with. They just lack that confidence to go out and be great. They have the skills, they can be great, but just something seems to happen to where they just can't pull the trigger.
mm-hmm.
And so getting them out of their comfort zone, to get them to do some things, is it makes them feel so out of place. And I give you an example. um, so if someone tells me that they're scared of, talking to people, I give them the activity and champion them to set up 5 meetings with people they don't know, right?
Mm, mm-hmm.
Just talk to them, set up 5. Hey, I would like to get to know what you do more. Do you mind if I set up a meeting for us to talk 15-20 minutes? And I just champion them to do it. Like, don't think about it, just do it. But self-confidence, man, that's where my clients seem to struggle the most. And it's tough, especially hearing some of their background stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, okay, this is great stuff, man. I'm trying not to, especially with us both being coaches, start a session where we